Oh, look at that. All the snow is gone. It's so jarring. Like, the snow is so bright and it all looks very nice. And then you go back to this very dark green, which it makes sense. The city is at night. Is it ever daytime in this city? Like, let me just think about the lore of this game for a second, because there is a lore, even though I'm very out of the loop, considering I am way behind on the chapters, on the story mode, because I barely do story mode. There's really no motivation for me to do it. But either way, back to this. Is it ever daytime here? Or are they trapped in this limbo, where it's just forever night? And another thing, do these heroes ever get to solve their mystery or something? Because this is a mobile game. Mobile games don't end their stories, because that means their game would be over and no more updates or anything. The only time a game ends is when they say, oh, it's not making enough money, so we're going to cancel it. That's the only time a game ends. So, are they, these heroes, all these heroes that we just demand to get into the game, are all just going to be trapped here forever? Because there's no end to their story. As soon as they defeat the Mega Virus, there's gonna be some other big thing. Like, I don't know, rank... Let's see, we already have rank yellow. So what if we end up eventually with rank, after like yellow 34, we get rank black, and then that introduces the Uber Virus, or the Uber Controller, or something like that. Also, that's another character I kind of want in this game. The Controller. I know he's just supposed to be a one-off thing, but apparently... Like, I thought he was going to be a bad guy, but then apparently he's... No, he's not the controller, he's the inventor, sorry. But it's like, he has a design, but aside from the story mode, we don't get to see it. So it's like, can we get him in the game as a character, or a foe, or something? Maybe, like, he could have a whole skill set where he summons a bunch of creeps, and one of his special moves is like the Mama Bot, or the Mega Virus itself. I'm not caught up on the whole story, because I am way behind on the story mode itself. Because, again, no motivation. Literally no motivation to play story mode. Anyway, here's Chef Skinner. Skinner or Skinner, I don't remember. I never paid attention to his name. I just knew him as the angry little chef who said, "Who made the ratatouille? I should have you drawn and quartered. I'll do it! I think the law is on my side." Oh, dang it. I haven't seen the movie in so long that I forgot when he said that. Again, all I remember from this guy is just an angry little chef who says, "Who cooked the ratatouille? Order up, the tiny terror of Gusteau's is coming in hot. This snide chef berates enemies and keeps the kitchen clean as whistle. Get me my lawyer!" Is that one? No, that I read it already. Imagine if that was one of his skills, where he just picks up a phone and says, "Get me my lawyer." Baguette. Okay, actually no. Let me go from here. That makes more sense. Baguette. That's. This is one where I'm most distracted, because every time I say baguette, I just think of that one episode of Monster Island Buddies, where we learn why Megalon is just always depressed, because he met some random dude with a mustache who just kept saying baguette. Passive. Chef Skinner's basic attacks do fantastic damage. Okay. Active. Chef Skinner takes out a baguette and whacks the enemies in front of him twice, dealing normal damage with each hit and shattering enemies hit for 8 seconds. Okay. If this is a move that actually manages to 1 KO an enemy, that's going to be pretty ridiculous, because it's like, you have like Ralph and Sully in the front lines, and they're these big monsters against this little man with a baguette who just manages to kill them. That would be absolutely ridiculous. But you know what they say, it's not about the smell or the touch, it's the crunch of the bread. Okay, funny. Chef Skinner sue away his enemies, decreasing their armor and reality by 85% for 8 seconds and granting himself a shield for 10 seconds. Okay, that's pretty good. Lower the enemy's armor and increase your own. I like that. Bold Shoulder. When actually, for some reason, again, distracted. This reminds me of another game, Kingdom Hearts Union X, where I kept looking for medals that distracted the enemy's damage, like decreased their damage or something. But every single medal that they kept releasing just, like, increases your damage and decreases their reality. None of them were defensive at all, because the medals were designed so that you just end the battle in one turn. You're not supposed to take that long, and it's just like I kept dying because none of them, no matter what level I was, I didn't have any defensive medals at all, so I just couldn't do anything to stop it. Bold Shoulder. When Chef Skeeter has 2 or more debuffs on him, he will cleanse himself and increase his entire team's basic damage and skill power for 10 seconds. This skill can trigger even when Chef Skeeter is silenced, stunned, or frozen. Okay, that's a good skill, although it's weird. It's just like he just unfreezes himself and just brushes it off. Actually, that's pretty cool. Pointed criticism. Whoa. Okay, that's the most powerful win animation. Look at, he's T-posing. He is asserting his dominance over the other chefs. Never mind, this is the most powerful character in existence. How can you beat a man who does that? I mean, okay, his arm's a little too high for a T-pose, so never mind. But I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. That's the thumbnail. Also, this makes me believe this guy is like like an aerial counter, because aerial heals over time. So then every 3 times they get healed, they get dealt damage. So watch out for this dude. If you're like just casually raiding and all of a sudden you run into this dude and you have aerial on your team's gonna take a lot of damage. Unless of course you have Baymax as well, and you just have massive shields that just block all the damage. That would also help. Not in my... There we go, Steve-posing again. The Baguette attack from Baguette now deals bonus fantastic damage. Bold Shoulder now also increases allies' armor and reality by 100% for 10 seconds. That's actually really good. Now, the friendships. L.I. Is that Linguini? And M.A. Is that Maleficent, I assume? Nope, I was wrong. It's the witch. But I was right about Linguini. Okay, so let's... For Linguini, if you somehow manage to look past the fact that he has a rat in his hat, after using Sous Chef, Skinner distracts all enemies for 2 seconds. And I assume it gets stronger the more you increase it, as in like the 2-star, it becomes 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. I guess that's not... Are you a frontline? Hang on. Oh, you're a tank! I didn't realize. I suppose that does mean it's okay for you to do that. But what does the other one do? Baguette Beret now stuns enemies for 2 seconds. I think that one's a bit better because the distract... There's no really benefit to him getting distracted. Not like Lilo, where she gets a 100% dodge chance. Or Shank, who just has an insane amount of armor. I mean, I guess, actually, you do have, but that's only if you unlock the red skill. So, yeah, I would personally go for Mary. It is Mary, right? Mary Witch Sanderson? Anyway, and the battle badge we don't care about because I don't give a dang about the battle badges. Now, what about your patch? Because these are actually obtainable for a fair amount because it's like its own resource and the resource is actually pretty easy to get. Well, depending on what heroes you have. If you work hard enough for it, you can get all these skills enough. Not like the Mega Virus where you have to fight it and you'll spend like so much time just battling it for a long duration of time and you barely get enough resources to level up even one battle badge. When this hero debuffs enemies, those enemies deal reduced damage for 3 seconds. This can happen once every 5 seconds and then it gets stronger each time. Shield Chair, which means every time he gets a shield, everyone else gets a shield. So, that actually works well with one of his skills, which actually gives him a shield. And Speed Benevolence. Buffs and heals from this hero also grant 60% movement and attack speed for 8 seconds. This can happen to each hero once every 10 seconds. Okay, yeah, and then of course the usual stat distribution. What do I feel about the patch so far? Okay, so if I look here, I do wish there was like more than one way to get patch other than just here, although that's kind of true with a lot of the resources, like here as well. Maybe if they add them to the Mega Mart, that would be good. Just adding them to the Mega Mart means we could have more opportunities to get patch essence so that we can level up more of our patchable heroes. But as for the patch itself, I actually quite like these patch updates because it means Korra got a massive buff and Baymax got a massive buff, so that 2 heroes that used to be OP and then got nerfed and are now back to being good again. So that makes it, that's fun. I like that a lot. Olaf also got a buff, so Olaf is a force. It's just so many heroes that used to be so nothing are now forces to be reckoned with once again. And that's what I really like about the patches. It's revisiting a lot of old heroes, while still giving plenty of attention to newer heroes. Like, again, when the patch came out, Quasimodo was introduced, and he was able to get patchable as well. Really, what other heroes do I want to see get patched? I want to see the Wreck-It Ralph crew get patches, because that would mean Shank and Vanellope can get even stronger. Hopefully, Vanellope can finally get that buff that I really, really want. Anyone else that I wanted to see buffed? Jack Sparrow, I want to see Pirates of the Caribbean, because then they have an excuse to add more Pirates of the Caribbean characters, because we still need the two main characters. Their names escape me, even though one of them was literally set. It's just been a long time since I've seen that movie. You would think I would remember the name of the main character whose name is mentioned, and his name is pretty much the main plot of the first movie. But also that means I get an excuse to use, like, maybe then I'll finally be convinced to level up Barbossa, because that was a character I used to level up a lot. Granted, the patch didn't convince me to use Aladdin, because Aladdin has always just disappointed me on every turn. Also, I finally managed to unlock his costume. Hooray. I really have been considering bringing Donald and Scrooge back into the team. Even though, I know Donald was buffed, but was Scrooge buffed? I don't remember. Mulan character, just basically, I can't wait for everyone to get patched. And that's it. That's all I gotta say. There's no way to spar with Chef Skinner yet, and he'll be available on Thursday. So we will see you until then. Can I get you to T-pose again one last time? T-pose. There we go.